Hi, my name is Giano and this is my subject of young adulthood, J Money. So, how old are you, J Money?
23.
So, now that you're like an upcoming adult and you're really young, are the responsibilities of being an adult overwhelming?
Yeah, they are.
Like what?
Paying for bills, how you call it? College work, gas money.
Are there any benefits of being an adult? Are there any benefits of being an adult?
Yeah, you get slightly more respect as much as people are going to give you. You get to drive, you get to do. You're able to do a lot more things, than you normally would be when you're younger.
How do you feel that the choices you made as an adolescent will affect you now?
Well, they are affecting me. You always go back into, oh, I could have done more. You know, there's a lot of things that you would wish you could change. But the good thing about life is that you could still change things. Just because you messed up or did something bad, or you were slacking off in school, doesn't mean you can recuperate from that.
Yeah. So, like, what do you wish you had have done different as an adolescent?
As a cliche as it is, probably done a lot better in high school. That way when I'm in college, I could have gotten there in a better start, but it's okay because you could always pick yourself back up.
So, would you prefer being an adult or an adolescent?
That's a hard question because there's given, a lot of bad things, a lot of good things. It's kind of hard because if you're young, there's a lot of good things coming when you're young, and there's a lot of bad things that come when you're young. When you're bad, the bad things about being young, you obviously got to follow by certain rules. You can't do certain things that you'd want to do. Your things that there's a lot more strictness to when you're younger. But the good thing is you don't have the responsibilities of being an adult. So you could just live at home. You don't have to really go out work. You kind of have a security blanket, and you kind of appreciate just being young, having fun, and you're carefree. When you're older, you got responsibilities, but you could do more. That's when it's exciting because you're starting your career. You start planning who you're gonna be for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. How do you feel about relationships and commitment?
Well, it depends. Relationship and commitment, it kind of depends more or less where you at in your life. There's certain times in your life where you're not ready to be committed to anybody, that you want to enjoy your freedom and be independent. Well, but if you find the right person, then you're willing to give that up because that person's special to you.
So, what features do you look for in a person?
What features? Well, there's a bunch of features. There's let me see. Obviously, they have to have common interest, because you have to relate to a certain level. You also, you'd also want somebody who's loyal, trustworthy, because you can't have a relationship without trust.
Yeah.
You also would have to have, she has to accept you for who you are, and you have to accept her for who she is. You gotta realize that you both have your own different personalities, and that that you just have to accept one another. You also have to be. She should also have a sense of humor. You want to have somebody that you could joke around with. You don't want to be with somebody who can't take a joke.
Yeah. What do you feel is the most important thing about keeping a close relationship?
Most important thing about keeping a close relationship. Never always acknowledge her. When she does her hair, or you notice it. Even if she didn't do nothing to her hair, just even if you don't think she did, acknowledge her. That she wants to be acknowledged. You gotta be. A lot of people, reasons why relationships don't tend to work out is because the more time that passes, what ends up happening is people tend to forget about the other person because it becomes a routine. Okay, I'll see her after lunch, or I'll see her here, and it becomes a routine. You're doing the same thing over and over again. You're on autopilot. you got to do things differently. You know, every once in a while, surprise her, take her out to eat. You know, if she doesn't buy her something, don't wait for it to be like an anniversary or a Valentine's Day or something that you have to get her something. Just do something like that on a random day. You know, always, you know, always spice things up.
That's interesting. Are you searching for a partner, or do you enjoy your independence?
Already have a partner, and I'm pretty happy with it right now.
How long have you been with it?
So far, only a couple of months, like 5 months. Damn, it's been 5 months. There we know. Yeah, it's 5 months. Yeah, and maybe that's why it's going good. You know, the bad stuff hasn't happened yet, but I'm happy though.
When did you meet your spouse or your partner?
Where?
When and where?
When? Well, sometime in October, and at a party. Mutual friends.
Oh. So, do you have a lot of friends? Like at parties, do you have a lot of friends, or like do you just enjoy a small group of like tight friends?
Well, I have a tight group of friends, but I tend to be sociable. I tend to like having a lot of people at parties. You know, that's the whole thing with a party. You can't have a party with like 6 people, but you know, but those are just party people. You know,
Yeah.
You always have your close group first.
Yeah. So how often do you go out to parties and socialized events?
Social events, at least twice a week to a party. You know, when it comes to like any other thing, you know, it's like, you know, four. I go out like 4 times out of the week. At least two, to maybe even one. Only at least one would be, you know, to a party.
Oh.
Yeah, loosen up.
So have you decided what you want to do with your life?
Absolutely not. I think things are just gonna go really bad for me.
Do
I'm just kidding. No, I know what I'm gonna do with my life. I want to be a film director.
What made you come to the conclusion?
To be a film director?
Yeah.
Well, I watched a lot of TV when I was younger, and if people told me I watched too much TV, and I realized I watched a lot of TV, then I was like, well, what do I want to do with my life? And to be honest with you, there's a lot of things I thought about, like, you know, doctor, lawyer, and I'm like, to be honest with you, that sounds really boring.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that. So I wanted to create stories, you know. It made me happy, you know. And when I'm stressed out, I watch a movie and I feel like, well, why can't I do that?
Yeah. Do you ever have you ever tried to like make your own movie or like write your own script?
Yeah, I've been writing my own scripts. I still got to buy equipment to make my movie, but that's what I'm going to school for.
So what school are you going to?
The most prestigious school you could go to, Miami-Dade College, North Campus.
So like, do you share your movies and your scripts with other people, or?
I do sometimes. It depends. When they're not ready, I think anybody who does anything, they're like, no, everyone tries to be perfect. It's not ready yet. But I tell people like the basic idea, so I fix it out. But it depends. Yeah, it depends if it's like, if I got a really good idea, I'll let someone know about it. But, you know, I tend to keep them to myself yet.
Would you like to have your own directing like organization, or would you like to join with like a person like Warner Brothers or something?
I think both, but I would like to have, you know, there's benefits of owning your own thing, being part of your own thing, because you can make whatever you want to make. You don't have to follow other people's rules, and that's true to anything in life. You don't want to follow other people's rules. You know, you want to do your own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you don't want to have someone tell you what you cannot do. But I wouldn't mind being part of an organization. You know, both.
Yeah, that sounds like what I would do. Describe an average day. Is this how you like? Would you like to live how you do?
How I am now?
Yeah.
No, I think you always want to live better than how you're living at the moment. You could always do better. I mean, I'm comfortable right now, but to be honest with you, there's so much more I would want to do.
So where do you see yourself in middle adulthood?
Not dead in a ditch anywhere. Possibly. Well, like, you mean age-wise, or where would I be hypothetically?
Everything. Like, how would you see yourself, and like, where do you think you would be, like, in career-wise, relationship-wise?
Well, if I could go with how I would want to be, I'd probably be, you know, already a film director, you know, making movies, being in the industry, you know. Hopefully I make it to a good age, but not as long as I live long enough to feel accomplished with what I've done, look back and be like, I didn't waste my time, because time is the most valuable thing in the world. It's not even money. It's having the time to do what you want to do. And as long as I don't die in a diaper, I'm all right.
So, where do you see yourself being relationship-wise?
With who I'm with now or in the future?
It's just anything.
Anything? Well, I'm liking how things are going now. I'm just thinking about the now. I mean, I can't be thinking about no future person when I'm dealing with somebody right now.
So, how do you feel about starting a family?
Oh, no, I'm not ready for that.
Why?
Why? Well, you have to be financially stable. You have to be ready. You have to want to have kids. You can't just have kids and you don't want them.
Yeah, I agree.
And you also have to find the right person to be with. To be the mother of your child, because you're gonna share ideally want to be a family with them. You don't want to have baby mama drama, basically.
Do you regret making a relationship with someone?
Do I regret? I want to say yes, but at the same time, I feel that even a bad relationship, you learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
You learn from your mistakes. So even though you might regret having it, what it taught you was to not go for that kind of person, or you learn about it. So if it didn't happen, you would have made that mistake in the future. The whole point about making mistakes is that you don't make them later on. And if you do, you're a fool.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well, thank you, J Money. I appreciate your time being here.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right.